All right. I'm just like kind of like, okay, here's some of the topics we should talk about before we talk about Obi-Wan and Vader and their confrontation. So maybe a couple of little things before that. The moment where Obi-Wan gives Leia Tala's holster, I thought was really touching. And I'm assuming like, we're meant to think that that's something she keeps with her and has in the original trilogy. I feel like, oh, I recognize that right now.
Yeah, I tried to do a little bit of like, I went to like Rebel Legion websites this morning trying to look at Endor Leia costumes to see if it was the same holster. It doesn't look like it is. I feel like it might be like a Captain Rex situation where like it's supposed to be, but even if it was never intended to be. But even I think the shape of it is a little different. So, maybe
Okay.
she loses it when she loses Lola at some point in between now and A New Hope. You know what I mean?
I'm telling myself that it's for carrying Lola around. I'm like, it's almost round enough, and I like to think that's where it's headed.
Well, that's in the last shot. She has Lola in her pocket.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
you were right.
In the holster?
I missed.
Yeah, when she's waving goodbye to Obi-Wan, it's in the holster.
Oh, that's what I told three views. Maybe I would have caught it on the fourth. But wow, I'm right. I caught it for Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm way behind both of you because I didn't imagine it, I didn't hope for it, and I definitely didn't see it. So, but that's awesome.
Look, dreams come true. Dreams come true.
Yeah, and Lola was great in this episode as well. Actually, like, just as a tool, in terms of, it got me a little bit when Lola was there with Obi-Wan. Like Leia, I think like slips it into like his robe or his jacket or something, right? Like basically he gets on that ship and Lola's with him and he didn't know that because is that correct?
Yeah, he didn't know until he took off that cloak to get ready for the fight, right? And so it's kind of Leia being a little con artist. I love it, right? A little sleight of hand. It's great.
And I love Lola. I love her arc. Her in the role of emotional support robot or droid in this episode, and I love that at the end when Obi-Wan steps off the plane, she runs for the robot instead of him. Like, she's a very emotionally intelligent 10-year-old, but she is still a 10-year-old and she's getting her toy back, and that's her first priority.
Yeah, no, that was great. And that's the scene that made me cry as I was watching the episode. And I feel like safe to reveal that because Brandon, you tweeted about how you maybe cried a little bit watching the episode as well. So
yeah, I cried during the whole last like 20 minutes of that damn thing. So it was great.
Okay. Yeah. One of my best friends, Kevin, we were we were texting about it today. And he was saying like, oh yeah, I pretty much was like sobbing through the whole episode. Yeah, so I know a lot of people were very emotionally invested, and I was like goosebumps like crazy, goosebumps for the last 20 minutes maybe or more even, but tears came during the scene on Alderaan, which it's almost like, I don't know, watching Revenge of the Sith in the theater when that movie came out. I mean, I was like ugly crying and sobbing like during the Anakin and Obi-Wan stuff, and there was like the emotion on Ewan McGregor's face in that confrontation with Darth Vader, with Anakin, was so powerful. But I didn't cry then. I cried I'm not exactly sure why, but I cried when she was standing there on that platform and he came out of the ship. Like, there was just something so powerful about that. And I think it's just the way that relationship's been developed throughout the show between those two. And I think also maybe it's a little bit of, and this is something I talked about a lot on last week's episode, but the show seemed so focused on the concept of protecting children or not protecting children and the consequences of that. And so to see this like wonderful, precocious, just like Leia, and projecting everything we know she's going to become into this young character, to see her standing there and to see like the look on her face and how important it was to her to see him come back, and she had said please come back, and he promised her and all that stuff. It just really was like it really hit me there. But you're right. She looks so happy when she sees Obi-Wan, but then Lola comes around and it's like a whole different level. So, yeah, really well done.